How I got a sinking business healthy and debt-free in less than 5 months. In 2002, I bought my first business. It was an almost bankrupt cabinet shop in Utah, and it had over $400,000 in debt. It had been losing money for quite a few years. Now, the cabinet shop had a great product. Customers loved their cabinets, but the operation was pretty disorganized, and it was pulling the owners underwater. By the second month after I had acquired it, we had it back to profitability, and by month 5, it was completely out of debt, and we never looked back. And I really only did 2 things to get that cabinet shop on the right track. The first is checklists. In my experience, checklists are the most underused tool in all of small business. In that first cabinet shop, I used checklists for everything. I went around to each department and I asked them this question. Hey, let's say we were building cabinets for someone you care about, but you can't do the work yourself. You can only check on a few important things as the work's getting done to make sure it's done right. So what would you put on your list of things to check? I then built checklists out of what they told me. We added a pre-delivery checklist to make sure that all of the materials and parts needed were on site for the installers the first time. Our installs went from 7 trips on average down to 2. We also gave our customers a blank checklist to fill out after the first install visit. We asked them to make sure that they were nice and hungry so that they'd be grumpy, and then go do a thorough inspection of their new cabinets. Put things onto the checklist that they wanted fixed. That way, we could get to everything and get it done in the second visit. By instilling checklists, our profits jumped right away and customer satisfaction went through the roof. Now, the second thing that I did was to stop doing something. And that was to have the business stop trying to fix everything all at once, which you can't do. Nobody can. I'd learned a model called SCORE, which I used to figure out what we should focus on. SCORE stands for sales opportunities times conversion rate. So this is the number of people that you have a chance to sell to, times the percentage of those that you convert to a sale, times order average, times your ROI, which is just a fancy word for margin, minus expenses. And if you do this math, sales opportunities times conversions, times your order average, times your margin, minus your expenses, that is your profit. And it is mathematically impossible to improve any one of these, as long as you don't have a negative margin, to improve any one of these and not have your profit go up. So, for that cabinet shop, the biggest difference maker for us was sales opportunities. For years, the company had just waited for customers to walk through the door. I decided to focus on getting a steady flow of weekly sales opportunities, so I hired a commissioned salesperson. And I paid them a guaranteed minimum salary if they brought in 20 sales opportunities a week. No more, no less. We called them invitations to bid, or ITBs. Once we started hitting 20 ITBs consistently, the rest of the SCORE math was pretty good, and was good enough that profits started kicking in. So what does this mean for you? If your business feels like it's pulling you under, then really just do 2 things. First, get better checklists. And for that, you can go to noggin.com, which is an AI-assisted checklist tool that lets you just talk into the microphone of your computer or phone and tell it the basics of what needs to get done. And then it spits out a clean, almost impossible to get wrong checklist that you can send to any device with internet, or you can print it out if you want. You can use promo code TBTRI50 and you'll get 50% off forever. Now, full disclosure, I've invested in the Noggin. I've turned around 12 businesses that were in trouble, and checklist is always where I start. And frankly, I was tired of doing it manually. Now, my second recommendation is to figure out which SCORE principle would make the biggest difference in your business, and then go big on that one focal point. Checklists and focus on the right SCORE principle is how I turned a bankrupt cabinet business into a profit machine that could run without me. That's all it took for me, and I'm confident that it can do the same for you. Now, if this is helpful, subscribe and leave a comment telling me about your business, just a little bit. You can also go to businessthatrunsitself.com and sign up for my weekly shop notes, where I send out a weekly email with a specific tactic that I've used to improve things in one of my businesses, and it's totally free.